Ed Sarabia. I'm chairman of the Native American Heritage Advisory Group.
Spell last name for me, sir.
Sarabia.
Okay. Now, Brantford Police says that they don't want a lot of people coming here, eminent archaeologists, any other archaeologists. What steps have been taken to make sure that won't happen?
Well, one of the things we did, and we really appreciate the media being in the area that we're doing the ceremony. So it wouldn't be photographed and wouldn't be videotaped. That way people would actually know exactly where it is. They do know the area. It's near impossible to hide it and make it that secure and that hidden because the traffic and the amount of people and the housing in the area. So keeping the media away from that area while we had the ceremony in that very area made a big difference. So we really appreciate that. That is one of the biggest concerns we have.
Okay, so from here on out, are you going to treat this as a sacred spot or no? I mean, you can't treat this like any other location.
No, what we will do is when we come by, usually what we'll do is take a small pebble and put it on the area that we know it's buried. And that has done a couple of things. One is the rock is really rocks and boulders are the real elders of this world. They were here before us humans were here. They were here after we're gone. So we're actually putting the elders back where they are to keep an eye on them. But the other is to let them know, like the people on the ground, that we've been here. It's out of respect, and it's also saying that we know where you are and a connection for us. So usually we won't say anything, we won't do anything, but we'll just put that little pebble down the little rock in acknowledgement of us being passing here and life in itself passing on, and the real elders will be there for you as well.
May I ask a question? How were you able to determine that they were Native American remains? Was there something that signified that it was?
That were discovered here before in the past 20, 30 years that were definitely, the area was definitely considered a known native site. And in fact, where they were found is really within that area as well. So it was already known that they were here. It was also known there were other burials. Always you look around and you see the Europeans that have been here, and also there was farming. So with this burial, there was some animals as well as roughly 2 skeletal remains that were put there. But the real answer is it is known because it was discovered before, and that the archaeologists that were here before did definitely determine it to be a native site.
These specific remains were nearby?
These specific remains as well as nearby.
So they were actually discovered before, you're saying?
No, in this area.
In this area,
Others were found here before, yes. In a similar situation, storm, so it was known already.
And we're going back 500 years ago, right?
You know, that's the question. It could very well be pre-contact, going back to, the problem with this is a lot of people think we're natives 500 years ago were like us. They didn't stay in one place. They did a lot of traveling. And for thousands of years, they moved around a lot. So even when contact came, the natives were still moving around a lot. So this may well be, there were actually 2 remains, not all of skeletal remains. So the question is, were they here all the time for 500 years, or were they even earlier? That's really not what we'll know. We'll probably find that out because the medical examiner did examine them before they gave them back to us. They were sent up to the medical examiner's office to be checked out, and then were given back to us yesterday. So we'll know more after that.
How would you distinguish those 2 sets?
The medical examiner would be able to tell by the bone structure and the bones themselves. There were 2 tibias, the legs. There were actually 3 of them. Obviously 2 of them were from one, and the 3rd one probably was from the 2nd. So they will review that. So even the archaeologists that were down here, when it was first unearthed and first were discovered, we were first contacted, came down and said, yes, they are 2 individuals. But he wasn't absolutely certain. He was leaving it for the medical examiner. Medical examiner gave him back to us. He doesn't have a report yet.
Just spell your name for us again.
Sarabia.
And your last name?
That is my last
Oh,
name.
and your first name?
Ed.
Ed.
Sorry, I changed your name.
That's all right.
I can't spell. I'm changing names.
Well, that way they won't look for me either. I think.
Did you have anything to do with describing how the interment would be? What exactly will take place with covering over?
We've had a similar, like with fox running, there are very similar ways of doing it, and we just followed the procedure. One was to smudge with sweetgrass, with sage. Put it in a abalone shell and put the dried sage into it, burn that, and then smudge each other. Smudge means with smoke from the sage going around and smudging your body. Smudging in modern terms is a blessing, and it pulls us together. And after that, you should, by the way, that we should do that first, and then we go to taking care of the remains, and then the digging. So that was basically a ceremony. You do that first, say the few prayers, and then you put tobacco into the sage and the abalone shell, and the tobacco with the sage carries our prayers and our words to the Creator. That is the original purpose of tobacco. That is why we use tobacco. Tobacco, the really only purpose prior to contact, as fox running knows, was for prayer, sending it to the Creator. The Creator gave us tobacco so that when we pray, the smoke from the tobacco carries our words and our prayers to the Creator. That is the only purpose of it. However, it changed after contact.
And then you dug?
Yes, we dug about 2 feet, and then they'll be covered up more by construction workers. Then.
Was there anyone else digging besides yourself?
One of the construction workers, but he was smudged too. That was very
Everybody was
important.
smudged
Yeah, yes,
before the-
that was very important. Otherwise, it's not correct.
Smudging is also a purification.